Welcome, I'm MKXII and we'll be talking about statistical lines sets. This time will be the Chronometric Calculations Set from the Time and Tide mission. The Time and Tide mission was actually launched as part of the 6th anniversary, and the set and the missions were involved you playing it several times during the week, and as a result we learned to speedrun it, especially when you have to collect all the parts for this set. Now, this set has 4 pieces with 6 components. This set actually has 2 pairs of ivory parts, which is very common with many of these sets. But like all the other ivory parts, getting both parts of the same pair only counts for 1 part. I'm going to mark the pairs with a cross or a double cross, depending on which pair it is. So let's get started with the actual pieces. So we'll get the Chronometric Capacitor Mark XII. This is the stats of Mark XII. When you get it, you get 20% Polaron damage, 2.7 weapon damage power, 30 particle generators, and 20% Torpedo damage boost. Not particularly the brilliant for Polaron damage, because it's about the equivalent of a Mark XII very rare beam cannon booster. Next up is the first of the pairs I was talking about. So here is the Chronometric Polaron BMA. Like any other standard BMA, it has a 250-degree targeting out and does Polaron damage to enemies. As with most other BMAs, it takes 10 power to self when firing. The proc for this time, which is 2.5% chance, is to do for 15 seconds do 300 starship shield penetration. This improves the shield penetration for starship weapons, really, and as a built-in 20% crit severity bonus. Not particularly it's as a Polaron weapon, it's okay, but let's check the alternative to this weapon is the Polaron dual heavy the Chronometric Polaron dual heavy cannons. Like most of the dual cannons, it's 45-degree targeting arc and does damage. And like most of the dual heavy cannons, 12% power lost to yourself when firing, but and also just like the BMA as its standard proc is being replaced by the 2.5 chance to drop to boost starship shield penetration for 15 seconds, and in addition to the 20, it is basically as the equivalent of a over 20% plus the built-in dual heavy 10% boost to crit severity, so it's 30% crit severity, and it covers the powered weapons. As you can see, you can pick your choice between beam or cannon. So next up is going to be the other pair. So this is I'm going to call the 360 weapon, energy weapon. As you can see, this is omnidirectional chronometric Polaron beam array. Or basically the 360 Polaron beam array. This cannot be used with some other set beam arrays from other due to the way that omnidirectional beam arrays work, or the 360 beam arrays work, you cannot use this beam array with certain other beam arrays. Most of the other beam arrays that this cannot be used with comes with part of a set, such as the one from the gamma repetitions being the most notable one, and possibly home, because both of those do technically Polaron beam arrays, which you might want to be equipped alongside. But as this has a 360-degree targeting that does Polaron damage, and as temps does take 10% weapon power from you when you fire it, just like every other beam array. Like all the other stuff, it's going to be pretty much for 2.5% chance you can get 300 Starship shield penetration for 15 seconds. Yeah, it really is. You're going to be noticing, spot the difference, and of course 20% critical severity. I really do mean spot the difference. So let's spot the difference on this next one. Is the heavy chronometric Polaron turret. Heavy turrets are slightly heavier, that do slightly more damage than the. As I can tell, do slightly more damage than the standard turrets, but they also have a slower fire rate. But like any other turret, it is it's either 360 arc, so you can, and does, like most other other weapons, this has a -8 power when you fire this to the weapon thing. And I'm going to skip all the rest now, but it is a spot difference. But unlike the dual cannons, this actually has a 20% critical severity mod bonus to it. As I said, this can only be used with this only counts. This counts as the 360 NG weapon, so this or the beam array will only work. So let's say if you've got the previous stuff. So what do you get for the bonuses? So you have two. That cover our bonuses. So we'll cover the second 2-piece set, which is the auxiliary circuits. This provides quite a bit of auxiliary power, and you get 3.6 just for getting to these pieces, regardless of what aux power is. And this is probably the 3.8 auxiliary power bonus power. This is somewhat a bit weird because I'm actually just copying due to the fact I haven't had much time to do some testing, but because with all this, with how much this works, you get a lot of power and stuff that I can't fully keep track of. So yes, it does really quite well. But there is a 3-piece set, so this is a clicky power, which means you can trigger it on demand, and it touches yourself a 2-minute recharge with, and you get 8% exotic damage for 15 seconds, and it scales with weapon power to boost it up to 32% at maximum weapon power. I presume that's and then there is then it also gives your weapon power an 8% energy weapon damage boost for 12 seconds, and it scales with auxiliary power. So it'll be okay. But really, this is a 4-piece set. I've only covered 3 pieces, or 5, depending on how you count it. But the 4th piece is actually tied to a ship. On PC, the Krenim Science Vessel, which you can see here, was given away at the launch of Time and Tide. This was made available later to a unique event, which was only on console. This ship is currently available in the Epic Price Pack, but this may change in the future. But this is the only way you can get hold of this 4th piece. So really, what do you get? What is the 4th piece? The Torpedo, or the Chroniton torpedo launcher. Like almost all torpedoes, it has 9% targeting arc, does kinetic damage, and has a 25% chance to reduce flight speed and turn rate to the enemies, and apparently ignores those shields and increases the chance. And apparently increases the chance to when you have the full 4-piece set, and you got 20% critical severity. So really, the 4th piece. I was just talking about the 4-piece set, so we better talk about it. The 4-piece set is basically increases the chance of the chronometric focusing rate, and it increases the Chroniton torpedo launcher by 50%, and also increases the chronometric energy converter time to 30 seconds. So really, the big question is, who is it for? And this set focuses on particle generators and arc power at the expense of some weapon damage. This is useful for the science powers that work better with higher exotic particle generators and auxiliary power. And I'm going to use the shortened term from here on out. The slight boost to the EPG and arcs outside of science console slots. This makes builds that rely on science powers to work even better. It's not really a weapon damage. It's really not for a weapon heavy damage. Weapon damage heavy build, as you've swapped out one of your better tactical consoles for the Chronometric Capacitor, and there's nothing to replace that boosts the power back up in the set bonuses. So, the big question is, have I actually used this set? And the quick question is, yes, I do, and I still do. At the time of recording, the 3-part sets are used in at least 2 of my current science builds that really control this areas, and both are very good at advanced content and quite often do a lot of damage. Whilst I've got the ship and the torpedo, I've never really used the 4-piece set, and I actually did consider using this set for the full carry carrier over Christmas, but I ran out of due to timing and how to get as many of them as quickly as possible. But anyway, this has been it. This has been Max Sharp Writer. I'll see you guys next time.